Khalid, the MVP from Mississauga, and we have Jim and Glenn and Dylan from Cleveland Hospital, and then we have all the neighbors and friends that came in and joined us. And I've been in the business for over 20 years, and I think our industry, which is our insurance and estate planning industry, is misunderstood. That we are basically, I thought, in the best position to create wealth for not only for your family but also for the charities that we love. So this is where we have to start from somewhere. So this came to my mind. I said, hey, I've been doing this business for so long, but I never thought, how can I make a bigger impact for my clients and the community? So I took there's a Master Financial Advisor Philanthropy designation. And I have Mark Halpern, one of the top advisor, and he motivated me. And Jim is my coach. He also motivated me to get this, designation. So I learned that actually you can convert. You are in the government, but how you can convert dollars into charitable donation and make a bigger impact in the society. So for that reason, it starts from home first. I thought, okay, this is me that who's going to start, and then I'm going to motivate my clients to make. I'm going to show them how they can make a bigger impact by donating not only small amount, but donating creatively. So that's what we have today. So we are presenting some of the checks to Cleveland Hospital and also the Mississauga Community Foundation that we are working for the past few years now. And we actually donated one of the insurance policy to Mississauga Community Foundations of almost $500,000. So you think that people when they donate this kind of money, they not only donate, but they also save a lot of in taxes. That is the beauty of that is. And that's what we are starting. And, I'm going to have everyone, almost a few people say a few words, and then we'll have a nice lunch after that. So thank you very much for joining. I'll ask Jim to say a few words, and then ask Glenn and Dylan to say a few words. Thank you.
Well, thank you very much. It's funny. I like to say that I met this guy when he was just kind of getting going, and he has done an extraordinary job over the last 5, 6, 8 years that we've been working together. It's a real blessing, and I'm really honored to be here today to see this beautiful new office of yours, and of course to talk about philanthropy and how that works. And there's a bunch of reasons why people give in this industry, and I think it's important we kind of understand that. And there's lots of different reasons. They're not all the same. They're not all about saving taxes, it turns out, but there are lots of them. And I think one of the biggest reasons for this is that we want to make the world a better place. And that certainly is what he does, to try to make the world a better place. We do this one client at a time, one organization at a time. It makes a big difference. People have compassion for the cause. And so whether it's any sort of causes you can have, and there's of course the hospitals, and other temples and things, those things all matter. You've got also ways of perpetuating your own beliefs and how you can keep that stuff going and keeping it going with the traditions that you've got in your family, in things that you want to do. And there's also things we do, of course, for community recognition. We want to make a name for ourselves. There are business reasons you can do this. And these are the different reasons why people do things. It's not all the same thing, and that's what I think Zahid wants to be sure about. And I think there's something else, too, is a question of just pure generosity. A lot of us have been very blessed by this world, and we want to pass that blessing on to others. And I talk about, it's funny, the word blessing to me is apparently means favor and protection. And I think that's what we hope for the causes that matter to us, favor and protection for them, and of course for our families, etc. I think another good reason, another kind of person who does charitable giving are those people who are looking to set an example for their family, for their community, and for others. And so while you say, well, here's a $500,000 donation, from Orooj and from Zahid, it's more than that. Say, well, how many other people could do that? And you need sometimes just to set the example, to say, hey, it can be done. Like the old story about the 4-minute mile. It was determined many years ago that it was impossible to do that because your heart would blow up if you ran that fast. And then Roger Bannister beat the 4-minute mile, and after that, I think 108 people in the next year did it, and nobody's heart blew up. And I think that's part of it. Your wallet might blow up if you did this, and it doesn't, because there are ways of doing this all the way through. We have religious reasons. We have people. There's some folks without suitable heirs. They say, I don't really have a place to go, but I want to make an impact. I want to be different. And so those people can find a way to do that. And then, of course, there's, as Zahid talked about a while ago, about, there's a current and estate taxation benefits as well. So it turns out that the government can really help you do all of this. And ultimately, there are really 3 places your money can go when you're gone. There's really just 3 places. It's the government, taxman, there's your family, or there's charity. And those are the 3 options we all have. And if you could choose any of those 2, which 2 would you choose? Except the government person. But and by the way, we have to pay tax too. It's not like avoiding tax. It's about making the world better in our own way, in our own community. And if your community, if my community, we can make it better a little bit, then the whole world is just a better place. And that's really how we do that. And so life insurance, as Zahid talked about a minute ago, can do some amazing things. Because you can adopt a charity and you can disinherit the tax man. Well, even a little bit. Just a little bit. Not too much, but enough. You can surely make it worth your while. And of course, one of the other interesting thing is you can find a way to make small donations into very large ones. Product like that there's lots of different ways of doing this, and you can provide ongoing cash for organizations. So we need operational money too, and there's ways of making that happen. There's just so many things when you understand what to do. Zahid is that guy who does that. And of course, the fact that the government does give you a tax donation for this stuff means that, they want to help too. So we have all our complaints about the government, not me personally, but other people. But they are really here to help us out too. That's part of it. So just as I finish up this, let me just say this. There are lots of different ways that you can give to charitable organizations, that you can make a philanthropic gesture in your life, in your family, in your business. Cash, checks, and credit cards, common way, good way, probably not the best way to do that if you understand how to do this right. And that's one of those, and by the way, there's only really one good way for you, the best way for you. And there's nobody better to show you how to do that, how to make an impact on your community, whether it's a cultural community, whether it's a geographical community, whether it's a cause of yours. There's nobody better to help you find that one perfect way for you than Zahid Sayed. There's just not a better guy. I've been so impressed. I've had the blessing to work with him for many years now. I consider him a great friend. I consider this whole thing just an extraordinary enterprise. Nothing makes me prouder than seeing your success. And it really bothers me in lots of ways because to me, from early on, he always looks to me like Omar Sharif anyway, which ticks me off anyhow. Far too handsome a fellow, but it is what it is. But so I'm delighted to be here and to help you just raise the profile of this. You do an outstanding job, brother.
Then would you like to come in and say a few words, and we'll donate the check to.
I had to make some notes too because Zahid has contributed so much. I didn't want to miss anything. But first of all, I want to say thank you for having me here today. To be a partner in your journey as you start today to create your legacy of giving from your family. I met Zahid about a year ago. I'm new to the Community Foundation of Mississauga, so we met a little over a year ago. He was one of the first contacts I made at the foundation, and what a great contact. I got my talents into him quickly. We worked together on obviously the large donation of life insurance that was made to our foundation. I soon realized that he was going to get things done and help us to grow the foundation. So I brought him onto our endowment committee, where he's very generously donated his time and his knowledge. He's helped us to educate the community about philanthropic giving and strategic philanthropy and how we can reach more donors, to grow our foundation, and ultimately to increase our impact in the community. I think that's what it's really all about. Today, Zahid is making a contribution to the foundation to start his own donor-advised fund. So his family will be able to choose the charities over time that they wish to support through his generous donation to the foundation. I think even more importantly, he's told me that he's going to be allocating a portion of profits, which every year will go to the foundation to help grow his fund over time. And I think that's an amazing example of generosity, compassion, and leadership. And we hope that every business will follow his lead, follow your example, and be as generous as you've been and you will be in the future as well. As you know, Zahid, every donation to the Community Foundation, we hold those funds in perpetuity. And so the grants that we'll be generating from your donation will be from the investment income that we make from those funds. So the donation you're making today is going to be impacting your community today, tomorrow, and forever, which is a beautiful thing. So I just wanted to say once again, thank you for your friendship, and your generosity, and your leadership.
Thank you very much. Sorry, do we have an royalty check? You cannot do it.
So many to give away.
That's right, there you go.
Wow.
So this is just the beginning, and of course we will be allocating profit every year as well.
Is that per month?
It could be. So thank you very much. Then come, please.
Amazing. Thank you so much for having me here. It's so exciting to see everyone in the room, to say hi and thank you on behalf not only just the foundation, but our 3 hospital sites and the close to 2 million people that walk through our doors every year. And for those of you who want a little bit of information about Trillium, we have 3 hospital sites. So we have our Mississauga Hospital site, our Credit Valley Hospital site, and Queensway Health Center. And the location of this office, I was actually just Googling right before I came. We have 2 hospital sites just within 10 minutes of this location. And we serve a growing population of over 2.2 million people now, but it's expected to grow by 45% in the next 20 years. So to put that in perspective, that's 1 million more people that our hospital will need to be serving and supporting within our community. So thank you so much for this donation.
Absolutely.
It's amazing. And I just wanted to share a little bit more about the Muslim community gift before we do a little bit of a photo op. In late summer 2020, when things were very stressful at the hospital within our community, the Muslim community and Mr. Mufti helped bring the community together to pledge $5 million towards the expansion and redevelopment of our Mississauga hospital site. And he's brought the community together in such an incredible way. So thank you so much, and thank you for your support. And I look forward to working with you more in the future.
Also from from the hospital, from Orooj Financial, so that's something to take. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Last but not the least, we have Ikra Khalid, our MVP, who she would like to say a few words. And
Thank you so much, Adam. First and foremost, I'll say that I'm a federal parliamentarian, not a provincial one, which absolves me of all of the provincial responsibilities, including healthcare. But maybe I'll share 2 stories with you. When I first ran, it was 2015. I was 28 years old, quite young and new to the whole political system, and we were running on a platform of lowering taxes for the middle class and increasing taxes for the top 1%. Now, Zahid Bhai was one of those higher earners, but he was so accommodating, so understanding as to why our government needed to do that. And over these past 8 years, I have reached out to him multiple times to seek his advice on so many different financial matters, on economic issues that impact our writing and the legislation that ultimately impacts the people in our communities. Now, a couple of weeks ago, I went to a work site of the Trillium Health Partners, and they're building a long-term facility just a couple of blocks from here, actually. that is going to involve hundreds of beds for seniors within the Mississauga community, that is going to provide that care that so many seniors need. And while I was touring that facility, the wonderful, wonderful team of Trillium Health Partners said, look, Ikra, we have a project that is shovel ready. We just need land. And it would be wonderful if we could get a culturally sensitive project or a community that is wanting to take ownership of that project, to build more and more long-term care beds and homes for communities in Mississauga. In my own riding, there's about 43 different languages that are spoken here. We are one of the most diverse ridings in Mississauga. So it really shows me how much of an impact people like Zahid Saeed, people like Abdul Qayyum Mufti really have in building not just the healthcare, but just community standards of who we are as Mississaugans, of who we are as a diverse, a vibrant, and a very multidimensional community. And it takes each and every one of us to ensure that that community thrives, that it succeeds, and that it continues to progress, to ensure that more and more people that are vulnerable have the opportunities, have the dignity and the respect to continue to live amongst us and to continue to thrive within us. So today, I am here not only to recognize the awesome contributions of Trillium Health Partners in building that community, but also to recognize the awesome work of Zahid Saeed and to recognize him with the Platinum Jubilee Award of Mississauga Erin Mills, to know and to understand that his contributions have made all the difference in building a more inclusive and substantial society here in Erin Mills, because it's my riding and is the best part of the world, but also in all of Mississauga, and I think all of Ontario as well. So thank you so very much. If I may, I will first and foremost present you with the Queen Jubilee pin.
Oh,
If you will allow me permission, I would like to pin it on you.
please.
If I can take it off. I'm struggling, offering. It's a process. Oh, there we go. It's a process. There we go. If I may.
Thank you, please.
Thank you very much, Zahid, for all that.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. There you go. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Just tell me a little bit about it.
Absolutely.
And secondly, I received $1 million from Trillium Health Partners today. I appreciate it. You guys should all have business cards like this, just saying. I know that I'm going to be doing it, but thank you guys so very much for all of your
I have a few more videos if you want.
He has real ones.
I like the big ones.
And last but not the least, I want to recognize my wife, Shaida. She's and we have, of course, Rahul, is our partner that we do a lot of business. Everybody's here. Thank you very much for coming. And this is what it makes us better, the people. Just helping each other and getting to know each other a little bit better. And sometimes we don't know what you don't know, right? They say, you live once and die twice. Once that you're not there, and the second is when people stop talking about you. And now we have that way that we can leave that legacy, that we can leave for generations to come. My grandchildren gonna be donating on my behalf, so they would never forget my name. Usually they forget your names. You go to richer people's house, they have a big grandpa picture because they left something for them. And you go to the poor guy, they have no picture. so thank you very much. We're just gonna walk over to our kitchen and a little lovely food, a little bit that you can enjoy and chat with each other. And thank you again for coming. Everything ready? So good. Let's walk to the other side of it. And of course, we can. Yeah,